Reggae Boys commentary. How is everybody doing? All is well? I hope so. I do indeed hope that everybody is doing well. Hopefully that works. So, we have lots to discuss, don't we? There's always a lot to discuss. It's Jamaican football. There's so much different avenues, there's so much different angles, there's so many different personalities, there's so many different things to discuss. But the first thing before anything is discussed on Corona Thursdays is you have to give me a big thumbs up. 6,500 subscribers. Thank you very much for all of you loyal subscribers. 6,500. 4.5 years with this project. I would say it's been going quite well. And I appreciate all of your support. And at this point in time, I encourage you to tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your uncle, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your auntie, tell your uncle, tell your grandparents, tell your dog, tell your girlfriend, tell your neighbor, tell your best friend. Just tell them about Reggae Boys commentary, alright? Can you guys do that for me? Alright? So, Reggae Boys commentary on YouTube. SimyP93 on Twitter for the latest updates on Jamaicans players in terms of tweets and messages. And Simon.Preston on Instagram. How does that sound? That sounds alright? I hope so. I hope you guys do. So, before we get to the comments of what you guys have been saying, let's talk, shall we? Let's talk. Let's start from Monday, which was the start of the week, to where we are today. Alright? So Monday, there's a meeting between the English FA and two players of Jamaican heritage. One of them was Damari Gray, and the other was Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones has committed his future to England, while Damari Gray needs more time. Listen, you guys are going to ask time and time and time again, what's the latest with Calvin? What's the latest with Calvin? I already gave you the update last week. I told you the update with Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips has requested that he focus on his club football. So international football is not in his picture at this point in time. Alright, guys? Alright? So please, if there's something a bit more specific you want to know about Calvin Phillips, then I'll do an Instagram live right after this, alright? To engage a bit more of the interaction that you guys have. So a little bit after this, then we can discuss that. But for right now, let's talk about what happens, what's fresh, what is current, and then afterwards on Instagram Live, we can have a bit more of a more retro sort of discussion. Alright? That is what we can do. But for right now, let's deal with the hot off the press, fresh, insightful content. Alright? So as I said, Damari Gray needs more time. Curtis Jones, England. There's going to be three more players that Gareth Southgate will meet. Well, 5 in total, but in terms of individuals, he's going to speak to Reece Nelson and, in addition to him, Saka, so the Arsenal duo. But both of them don't have Jamaican heritage. Saka is of Nigerian descent and Reece Nelson has Zimbabwean roots. So Gareth Southgate will get into the African players in terms of players with African descent. And like I said earlier, the World Cup is 2 years from now, and the Euros is a year from now. So back-to-back tournaments, a world tournaments, well, international tournaments. So that's an opportunity for England to put together their plan. And trust me, I know exactly what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing. I've read this cover to cover. I know exactly the intention, and I know exactly what they plan to do. I know the history of their program, and I know exactly how they plan to play. All right. So I've done my research there. And sometimes you have to check your sources on this matter. And I can tell you that I've double checked my sources here. See, I've gone back to the days of Bobby Moore, Bobby Charlton and company, Nobby Styles, etc. So I know exactly the project that England has put together. And the plan for England is to win the World Cup. That is what England is planning to do. That's the goal. And England are looking to achieve this goal for 2022. If not win it, get to the final and win 2026. Because of the current cycle that they have together, England is putting all their eggs together to make sure that everybody's on the same page from now, so they can have a genuine go at the next two tournaments. So I've read their plan. I know exactly what they're doing. I know what they're doing, honestly. I'm being dead serious. And I've even followed what the Spanish are going to do. Yes, Spanish is my third language. I know exactly what they're going to do. See, what Spain has been doing as well, they've been also tracking certain types of individuals. So it's a clear testament that the work that European countries are putting in, they mean business for Qatar and for USA, Mexico, Canada. So what about us? What about us? Michael Jackson sang that song, didn't he? What about us? So the question is, what about Jamaica? So in 2016, Winfred Schaefer no longer became head coach of the Reggae Boys, right? And who came in? A man by the name of Theodore Tapper Whitmore. His first game in charge in the latest stint was against Guyana in the Caribbean Cup, in Guyana. And that first squad that was selected shocked a lot of people, did it? Some in good ways, some not really in others. It was great to finally see Damien Lowe making his debut for Jamaica. It was great to see Omar Holness get an opportunity to make his debut at the office against Suriname. It was great to see Romario Williams on the park. Great to see Corey Burke score some goals. It's great to see Decoy Williams back in the program. But we're almost 4 years on, right? 4 years on from Tappa's first game in the latest stint. 4 years on. And yet still, we are less than 12 months away from a World Cup qualifying cycle. And we still don't have the pieces in the puzzle. We have a general core. But are all the pieces put together? No. Look, I've watched 5 World Cup qualifying cycles. The first cycle that I remember watching from start to finish is a 2002 cycle. I remember 98. I don't remember the Croatia game. I don't remember the Argentina game. But I can tell you, I genuinely remember the Japan game. Genuinely. So I remember fragments of that tournament. Ebersan scoring the fastest goal for a substitute in the World Cup. Italy getting knocked out in the quarterfinals. England and Beckham with that red card and that penalty shootout misery. You know, the Dutch making a run to the semi-finals of the tournament and losing to Croatia in the third place playoff. Lilian Thuram scoring a brace, a defender. and obviously France winning the World Cup. But where qualifying cycles are concerned, I've seen 5. 2002, 2006, 2010, 2014, 2018. And honestly, we should have qualified for 3 of those tournaments. 2006, 2010, and 2014. We should have qualified for 3 of those tournaments. And you always wonder, why do I always go back to 2014? Because at the end of the semi-final round, we saw the changes that were made. Mariappa and Nosworthy were in defense, right? Those were the only English-based players in the squad at the time. Look at the Gold Cup last year. Tell me who was the only English-born player in the squad? Hector, yeah? You know what happened in the final round? McAnuff came in, McCleary came in, Marvin Elliott came in, Thea Robinson came in, Sean Cummings came in, Daniel Gordon came in, Jermaine Beckford came in. That's 7. I have a feeling there was more. Lloyd Doyley. Still feel that there's another individual. But yeah. 8. Jamaica versus Panama, March 2013. The first match in the history of Jamaican international football where there are more English-born players on the park than Jamaican. 6 English-born players started that game. You want me to remind you about what happened in that game? Let's look at the back 4, shall we? Demar Phillips, left back. Mariappa and Nosworthy, centre halves. Who was the right back? Jermaine Taylor. What happened in the game? Lyron Nosworthy tore his ACL. What was the decision taken by the head coach at the time? No. Mariappa has played 400 games with Lloyd Doyley, but let's put Omar Daly at right back. That seems sensible. Captain Burrell and I were absolutely livid in the hospitality suite. Livid. The head coach of our national team, instead of putting on the man that has played 400 games with Adrian Mariappa at club level to partner with him at central defense, you bring on Omar Daly to play right back and shift Jermaine Taylor at centre half. Now, you Reggae Boys fans are smart, aren't you? Look at that game again. Jamaica 1, Panama 1. Tell me where the weakness was. Tell me how Panama scored. Because the wheels started to fall as soon as the head coach at that time, who is the head coach right now, put on Omar Daly at right back. Now, I can tell you as a fact, as a cold hard fact, if there was video analysis done for that game, and I know for a fact there was none, the head coach would have known that Panama thrives on the left-hand side. And coming into that game, 75% of the goals that they scored came from the left-hand side. But I will leave that discussion for another evening because there are so much more stories to mention. And here we are, August 2020. And we are 9 months and 3 weeks away from another World Cup qualifying campaign. And guess what? We still don't have the pieces together. The players are not to be blamed. You all know who the person that should be blamed for that. Because if I'm the head coach, I'm reaching out, excuse me, to the administrators and say, I want this, 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 and this. And I'm calling them up. All right? I'm coming to your comments in a moment. I'm getting there. Just let me finish my preamble, and I'll be getting to your comments. All right? Please, be patient with me for a moment. We go to Costa Rica 4 days later. And we put Lloyd Doyle at right back. He is a natural right back. But who would you rather? An individual that you've played one game with beside you at central defense, or a guy that you've played at centre half with your entire career? I'll let you be the judge, because you all are outstanding football geniuses. Can't say I have those high words for certain individuals. Reggae Boys fans, I am not arrogant. I am not a haughty individual. But I do know my worth, I do know my purpose, and I do know what I bring. I know what's in here. All right? I watch 378 players every week. 378. National players, youth players, former national players that played for us at under 17 and under 20 level that might not have made their debut for us as yet, like a Nico Brett. Players that are born in other countries that have Jamaican heritage. And I can tell you, right now, we have a decent core. Decent. It just is a bit frustrating that the pieces have not been put into the puzzle as yet, isn't it? I know. COVID has put rampant on these things, and Catalonia game would have been that perfect opportunity. But the head coach had 2 Gold Cups to integrate some individuals, don't you think? Or do you buy the project that he's looking at local first and overseas after? It's up to you to decide. But let me tell you something. There's a reason why I'm the only analyst in this country that was on the panel for 2006, 2010, 2014, 2018, 4 World Cups in a row. The first analyst in this country, and in the Western Hemisphere for that matter, to be on a panel at 12 years of age. Only one other individual has done that, and you all know him quite well, Liam Henriquez. So when I speak, I don't speak garbage. I don't speak rubbish. I speak common sense. So when I say that we have a genuine chance to finish 3rd in the final round, then you take what I have to say. And you ask me right now, for 2022 World Cup, where will we finish in the octagon I genuinely think third is a realistic goal. Once we have the ingredients together. So, I've waffled on for 20 minutes. Let's hear what you guys are saying from the top, and we work our way down. What do I think about Calvin Phillips? I think Calvin Phillips is an outstanding individual, and that Calvin is versatile, whether as a central defender or as a holding midfielder, he'll certainly add product. BM says it's ridiculous that they have been doing it now. It should have been done 2 years ago. Agreed 100%. As I said, I think certainly from the 2017 Gold Cup, we should have seen some individuals involved in the setup. Damien Lowe, happy for him. Good team him gone to. Let me just say, Reggae Boys fans, when you want credibility and factual content, this is where you come. Now, I don't know what has been circulating around, but Damien Lowe has not signed for any team as yet. There is interest in 13 countries for him, but he has not signed for any team. So don't jump to conclusions. Just like when somebody tells you something, you want them to be 100% clear with you, not 90%. So just like with transfers, when pen is put to paper, then you can celebrate. But for right now, stay calm. Take time. It'll take time. Don't worry. What do you think about the moves Mount Pleasant is making? That's exactly what Jamaican clubs should be doing, and I personally hope that at least 4 other clubs will follow in their footsteps. BM, where Lowe is concerned, what I do know is that there's still some genuine interest in Belgium and England. Genuine interest. So once again, we don't count our chicks before they're hatched, but there's genuine interest for Lowe in those markets. Mr. Palmer, big up yourself, sir. Orgil will be playing with Podolski, Kemar, and company. Roof, coached by Gerard. Paul with Matuidi. This should help improve their games. Absolutely. Being integrated around certain individuals, they'll certainly have an augmentation in their performances, and they can learn from these individuals as well. Dane Richards said, just being in the same dressing room with Latier, and Ricketts says just being around David Beckham was just an outstanding accomplishment for him to just collect balls from him and crosses into corners and things. So you're going to see a number of our players improve their performances for sure. Absolutely. When's Lamar Walker coming to England? Probably in another 5 years. I think he'll be playing in England for sure. Javanese to England? No, Javanese is playing for San Carlos in Costa Rica. Quarterback to Germany. Based on what I understand, the union wants to hold on to his services. You see, the thing is, Damani, as it relates to Jamaican players going to USL, a lot of our agents are based there, so those are the opportunities that they look for. What I would say is for those agents to network with others so that there can be more opportunities, just like what we're seeing, especially in Scandinavia and also in Eastern Europe to some extent. Belgium could be another hub for Jamaica moving forward, and it's an avenue that we can exploit to use it as like a conveyor belt to England, Germany, or another market. So something that we can consider. Mr. Thorpe. Now that, sir, is the question. But because every coach that you want of quality, you have to pay the big bucks, because quality, if you want quality, you have to pay. Gas, food. If you want quality, you have to pay, big man. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Darren Moore. He has a nice little project going on at Doncaster. I don't think he'll be coming this way quite soon. Who would you partner Damien Lowe with, Simon? right now, Adrian Mariappa. Much appreciated, Mr. Cunningham. Orlando, what do you mean? Damani, do not call my brethren an idiot, okay? Do not call him that. Oh, saying somebody should, go here, don't know. Do you know which club he's going for? You don't know which club he's going to, okay? Just because one company says X doesn't mean that he's going to X. He can be going to Y, okay? When the paper is signed and sealed, then you'll know. O'Neill Fisher to England, no. Kevin Lambert to England, hopefully in another 2 years. Simon Blussablow didn't sign with a team as it. Exactly, that's what I said. Google can be wrong, so just chill, alright? What about Leon Bailey to Everton? I think there's an issue with wages where Everton is concerned. I don't think Everton, despite their rich ownership, is willing to meet the wages because Everton is thinking about a new stadium. One way, the answer to your question is no, not yet. Damien Lowe. Guys, it's coming, okay? Give it another week. You will hear all that you need to know about Damien Lowe in a week. The club, the city. He may have given some hints on his Instagram, but you know, that can change just like that, okay? Junior Flemings needs to move to a better league, even if it's Liga MX or MX, as they say in Mexico. 7 goles in 6 partidos, 7 goals, 6 matches, or 7 goals en 6 matchs. Pour Fleming en français. It's a good run. I actually think Mexico would be a good market for him. Good idea, boss. Good idea. Big up. Liga MX for Flemings. That would be outstanding. I would say that. 100%. What place do you think Fulham will finish next season? If they're able to bring in the boss and a few other prospects, then I think a top 12 finish is realistic. Is domestic football resuming in the fall? There are some plans to get it off the ground in October, but again, there is a spike happening in Jamaica, so that might even be pushed back to January. So we're just gonna have to wait and see to see how the virus is locally. But if the borders are open, then you can expect there to be more cases. So yes, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Great 7710. I'm gonna kindly ask you to explain the reason why you have made that statement, please. What about Casey Palmer and Jamal Lowe? Both individuals right now are uncertain about their international future. Junior Flemings needs to get out of USL. This is his breakout season. Where do you think Bailey's next move is going to be? I think England for sure. What do you think about Hector on Fulham? I know a lot of Jamaicans do not like him. Like I said, I think Hector is an outstanding, versatile player that can be an asset for us. And there are certain games where I have him at centre half and certain games as a holding midfielder. We'd like to see Flemings in Belgium. Yeah, he would attract a lot of wave there for sure, but I'm not sure he's ready for Europe as yet. I think more Lambert is ready for Europe for sure. Are there interest from Belgium for Lamar Walker? And is Daniel Johnson? Yes, Daniel Johnson has his Jamaican passport and everything, but as discussed on Reggae Boys commentary in previous editions, he was frustrated during the CONCACAF Nations League for the JFF sending him on 4 flights just to come to Jamaica. There were some hiccups where travelling was concerned, and he felt frustrated that he had to go from Preston to Manchester, Manchester to London, London to New York, New York to Miami, Miami to Mobay, Mobay to Kingston. That doesn't make sense, alright? That does not make sense. I came from the north just the other day, and it took me 2 flights to come back to Jamaica, and it wasn't expensive. All right, cool. Don't talk. Talk about Daniel Johnson one more time. Daniel Johnson, Rabel Morrison. You guys don't have to worry about them. We will see them in the national program. All right. The only thing that will stop them from the only thing that will stop them from taking the pitch is injury. Okay. So honestly, just don't worry about it. What is your question, Mr. Nicholson? Yeah. So as I said, Daniel Johnson, Rabel Morrison, don't worry about them. They'll be in the national program for sure. So, Reggae Boys fans, before I go over to my Instagram live to answer some questions there for the fans, let me just say that there is no truth to the talk that Adrian Mariappa is going to Leeds. He's a Watford player and he's going to be staying there. But there are some interests around England, so keep you posted on that for sure. But there is interest, absolutely. And as I've answered for the 10,000th millionth time, where do I think Bailey will go next? Leon Bailey, I think, will go to Man City. That's where I think he will go. All right. If Manchester United don't get Jadon Sancho, then Bailey might be a plan C after Dembele. Okay. So you can look out for that. All right. So that's what I think. That's what I think personally. How about the Blackburn left back, Amari Bell? Amari has the ability. I'm not sure if he has been reached out to by the JFF, but I can make some inquiry. My Instagram page is simon.preston. All right? Simon.preston. So I'm going to talk to the Instagram people sometime, and I want you to stay tuned because I'm going to be doing a Patreon page quite soon. So that's the latest development. I'm going to be doing a Patreon page where if you want exclusive insights on player transfers, movements, which player is going to get a Jamaican passport soon, then you can subscribe to that content for a very small fee. Very small fee, like how much you would pay for your lunch on a day-to-day basis. Just for some exclusive content on which players are going to move to a specific club in terms of real close sources, information on which player is going to get their passports next week, and also information on everything Jamaican football. So stay tuned for that. All right. Inquisitive 871. Simon, what is your ethnic background? I was born in Jamaica to a white father and an Indian mother. So you would call that mixed race. My father's side of the family is from England and my mother's side is from India. So that is my mixture. I hope that answers your question. If there's any other questions, then you can ask me on my Instagram page. But yeah, that's my mixture. That's my mixture. Damani, you're not easy at all, you know. You're not easy at all. Yes, inquisitive. So if there's any other questions, you can ask. What about Maitland-Niles? I think there's a genuine chance because based on the depth of England's left back and right backs, I can't see him getting into that squad. You think about Ben Chilwell, Brandon Williams, you talk about Luke Shaw at left back, so that's deep right there. Right back, you're talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So right back is stacked right there. Midfield, Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice, Harry Winks. Where is he going to play for England? Honestly, where is Ainsley Maitland-Niles going to play for England? Centre forward? No, you must be mad. So I think Ainsley has a genuine chance to play for Jamaica. All right? Yes, inquisitive. I was born on the island and I do have a Jamaican passport. So yes, I just need to learn how to speak Patois. And then I can say that I can speak 6 languages. So I speak English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Hindi, and just a pinch of Arabic. Yeah, just a pinch of Arabic. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's good. It goes a little bit something like Marhaban Siriltu Bilikaika. Something like that. That's Arabic. So yeah, I'm working on Pato. I'm working on Pato. But yeah, French, Spanish, yeah, I'm working on that. Simon, I want to see Phillips in the program. Absolutely, hands down. I want to see him for sure. Supercat? Which one of the Supercat? The artist them? Ballad game buzz. Sorry, my friend, but we're not getting Greenwood. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm sorry. BM, regardless of your ethnic background, you're still Jamaican, Simon, which is what matters. That's true. Jamaican is the country. Jamaica is the country of my birth. That is true. I do have my roots are from other countries, as we know. 1655, the English came to this country, and post 1838, the Indians came to this country. The Englands built the roads in this country, and the Indians helped significantly in agriculture in this country. So, I'm grateful for both of them coming this part of the globe so that I was able to be a product. So, yeah, kudos to my mother and father, right? More so to my mother for sure, yeah. Yeah, the work that she has been doing for sure. So, absolutely big up my mom for sure. Yeah. King Kosa, thank you very much for your kind words, sir. I appreciate it, and I'll be keeping to work hard. Are Indian Chinese minorities liked? Are you asking me, Damani? Well, like I said, I'm multiracial, so I wouldn't necessarily be in that one specific group, but I would just say that my experiences growing up in Jamaica, I went to a private high school and a private prep school, so I was around mixed race Jamaicans already. Half white, half black, half Chinese, half Lebanese, half Chinese, half Indian. So I went to a school that had Jamaican born students, but who were also mixed race. So I didn't face, honestly, the only prejudice that I faced in my life was my weight when I was younger. I was a bit chubby when I was younger, but that is clearly gone now. But yeah, that was the only prejudice I faced when I was younger. But no, whether in Jamaica or around the world, the first thing that people recognize on me is my height. I said, "Whoa, you're tall. How tall are you? How big are your shoes?" That's the first thing that they ask, honestly. That's the first thing that they ask. When I'm on a plane, "Oh, sir, do you want an upgrade to first class?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." So yeah, it's quite experiences that I've had, but that's me personally. If you want to ask something personal about me, then yeah, you can let me know on my Instagram page. But my experiences growing up in Jamaica have been fairly well. You understand? Yeah, Mr. Palmer, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah, we're not getting Greenwood. Exactly, King Kosa, because black Jamaicans are 89% of the population of Jamaica. Maria Parlo, in terms of what? In terms of who am I going to hang out with on a Friday night? Mariapa. Who am I going to sit down with and play FIFA with? Then Damien Lowe, hands down. Yeah, it just depends on the type of question you're asking. Would I rather, sit down enjoying a meal with? Mariapa. Would I rather sit down and play some FIFA or listen to some tune with? Then Damien Lowe. Yeah, hands down. If you ask me who am I bigger brethren, then that is a different question. But if you ask me, Simon, who am I rather par with, then is Mariapa. But if you ask me who am I rather chill with, then Damien Lowe. You understand? Yeah. You say have different questions for different things, How tall am I? I am 1 meter 97, which works out to 6 feet 5 inches tall. So that's how tall I am. I have been this height since I was 16. And for you avid football fans, you would recognize that because from the 2010 World Cup, where I was a local analyst on 10 years ago, yeah, you would see the height that I had. So yeah. So you would know. Well, I'm sitting down, Chevron. I'm sitting down, but I'm 6 feet 5 inches tall. Yeah. When I was 12, I was a 6-footer. By the time I was 13, I was 6'3", By the time I was 15, 16, I became 6'5". So I've stayed that height ever since. I love my height. I wouldn't trade it, or I wouldn't give it up for anything in this world, and it's nice. Yeah. I don't think I've met a regular boy that's taller than me. Dwayne Carr and I have been the same height. I think Jamaica Toby on paper is 6'6" on paper. I think he's around 6'5.5". Maybe he's slouching. Maybe I'll have to stand up beside him again. But yeah. When do you expect Suriname to gain their European players? When when the government of the Netherlands passes the constitution about dual citizenship, which I'm not sure what's going to happen for 2022, maybe 2026. Simon, do you think the national team should focus on anti-football, park the bus? You see, in international football, where the games come thick and fast, my priority is the attack. I have no problem outscoring an opposition. I don't have no problems winning 5-4, 4-3, 3-2, 2-1. I have no problems at all. Once my attack is there, because goal difference at the end of the day is a massive, massive deal, and that's what killed us during the 2010 World Cup qualifiers. So, yeah. When do you think the RSPL will restart? Well, our government is still thinking about protocols and all of those measures. So I honestly think January. That's what I think. Redmond already has an England cap, my friend. I am not Irish, not at all. I know Shabana. Like I said, on paper it says he's 1m98, which is 6 feet 6 inches tall. But like I said, I've seen this guy from Camperdown days, and when I stand up beside him, we are almost the same height. Coach of Camperdown measured the two of us beside each other, and we're the same height, honestly. I'm being dead serious. I've stand up beside him, down up on Ricketts, Dwayne Carr. Yeah, like I said. At home World Cup qualifier, Panama, Curacao, or Haiti. You mean who would I rather play? I'd want to play Panama because of the competitive nature, and to show that we can beat Panama on our home soil, because we haven't beaten Panama at home since 2009. Have you spoken to Tyreek McGee? He's doing okay in Belgium. He's doing okay. He's going to make some big moves next season, for sure. Big moves in terms of getting into the first team and playing consistently, all right? So stay tuned for that. And let's say a big congrats to Javan East for joining AD San Carlos in Costa Rica. 21 goals in 36 appearances for Santos de Guapiles has led him to this move, so we wish him all the best so that he can continue finding the back of the net. And just maybe, he'll be on that starting pitch with Shamar Nicholson for the first game of the World Cup qualifiers, June 1, 2021. So Reggae Boys fans, thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. And don't forget, going on Instagram Live in another 3 minutes. All right? Another 3 minutes, Instagram Live. With Bad Gaza, Mr. Porter, with me here, I'll go on, sir. Yes, I know it was a friendly, but based on the conversations that Gareth Southgate has had with the English media, Gareth has thrown his name out quite a bit. Oh, Nathan Redmond has been quite impressive over the past couple of games, and we certainly see him as a part of our plans moving forward for the CONCACAF Nations League and this and that. So yeah, I know it was a friendly, but he's going to be saying to himself, what do I do? My IG name is Simon.Preston, okay? Simon.Preston. Mr. Porter, I hope you're well, and hopefully we'll talk, sir. But boy. Them can try pull we down, but them not gonna do it. Alright? Them not gonna pull we down. Could I post it live on YouTube? Can I comment? I wonder if I have the ability to comment. because I'm using my phone for this. Simon.Preston93. And that's what my thing is. But yeah. So Mr. Porter, everybody wants to know what the jizz is now. But let me just say, Reggae Boys fans. Yeah, I agree. If Mr. Porter is willing to speak, then we'll work on it. But for now, this is where we say a little more, and we'll be in touch. Because everything falls into place in time. Stay safe, wash your hands, and all will be well. I promise. All right? Take care.